Have you ever been completely overwhelmed, drowning in a massive to-do list, or maybe even dealing with something incredibly heavy in your personal life? But when someone asks how you are doing, you just smile and say you're totally fine. You might be sweating bullets on the inside, but you would honestly rather walk barefoot over Legos than actually ask for a hand. Maybe you are the person who will literally spend 3 hours trying to put together a piece of furniture upside down rather than just calling a buddy to come hold a piece of wood in place for 5 minutes. If any of that hits a little too close to home, stick around. We are diving deep into the psychology of people who literally never ask for help. It's not just about being stubborn or having a massive ego. There's some heavy, hidden wiring going on upstairs. So let's unpack why you're always playing the lone wolf, what it's actually costing you behind the scenes, and how to snap out of it before you completely burn out. Society absolutely loves to hype up the self-made hustle. We get told from day one to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, figure it out on our own, and never let anyone see you sweat. It's super easy to buy into the idea that asking for a favor makes you look weak or incapable, but psychology paints a totally different picture of human behavior. Being hyper-independent isn't always a flex or a superpower. Most of the time, it's actually a trauma response. Yeah, I said it. Somewhere along the line, your brain learned that relying on other people is sketchy. Maybe when you were younger, the adults in your life dropped the ball. When you asked for help back then, it was either ignored, held over your head like an emotional debt, or it just came with way too much unnecessary drama. So your nervous system made a completely logical choice at the time. It decided that the absolute only person who actually has your back is you. You slapped on some armor, locked the doors, and became the ultimate solo act. Let's talk about the burden complex, because this is massive for people like you. A lot of folks who refuse to ask for help are actually super empathetic, like almost to a fault. You're probably the therapist friend in your group. You're the one everybody dumps their baggage on when things go south. Because you're so hyper-aware of exactly how heavy life can get, the absolute last thing you ever want to do is add your own mess to somebody else's plate. You would much rather suffer in total silence than feel like you're being an inconvenience. But here's the wild part about human psychology. By refusing to let people help you, you're actually blocking them from showing up for you in a meaningful way. Think about how good it feels when you help out a buddy who's in a tight spot. It builds trust, right? It makes you feel valued and important. When you constantly hit your friends with the, "Nah, I'm good, I got it" line, you're low-key shutting them out of your life. You're denying them the chance to be a good friend to you. It's a crazy paradox. You isolate yourself to protect other people, but you end up feeling completely alone in a crowded room. Then there's the perfectionism angle. Oh man, the "if you want it done right, you have to do it yourself" crew. You know exactly who you are. Asking for help means letting go of the steering wheel, and for a control freak, that is absolutely terrifying. You worry that if you delegate a task, they will mess it up, do it way too slowly, or just not care about the outcome as much as you do. So you hoard all the responsibility. You micromanage your own life until you are running entirely on fumes. The psychology here is deeply tied to your self-worth. If you tie all of your personal value to exactly how much you can produce and handle on your own, asking for help literally feels like admitting you are a failure. It is a massive ego blow, but let us be real for a second. No human being is built to carry everything. The most successful people out there, the ones making serious moves in life, they all have a squad. They know how to outsource and share the load. Thinking you have to solo the entire game of life is just a fast track to a massive mental crash. Another huge roadblock is the fear of owing someone. In your head, every single favor comes with invisible strings attached. If you ask a coworker to cover a shift or ask a friend to help you move a couch out of your apartment, you immediately feel like you are in their debt. You start sweating over when they're going to cash in that favor. It makes every interaction feel like a business transaction instead of a genuine human connection. This usually stems from toxic relationships in your past, where help was weaponized against you. Somebody probably did you a solid once and then kept throwing it in your face for the next 3 years. Because of that experience, your brain now sees help as a trap. You think it's just safer to do it yourself so you can stay free and clear.
But healthy relationships do not keep a scoreboard like that. Real friends are not logging your favors in a spreadsheet. They just want to see you win. So, what actually happens when you keep this up for years? The physical and mental toll is absolutely no joke. Your body literally starts keeping score. You live your everyday life in a constant state of low-grade fight or flight. Your cortisol levels are constantly through the roof because your brain is permanently on high alert, thinking it has to handle every single threat alone. This leads straight into chronic fatigue, burnout, severe anxiety, and sometimes deep depression. You might look totally put together on the outside, crushing it at your job or in school, but behind closed doors, your tank is just completely empty. And the saddest part of the whole situation? When you never ask for help, people naturally assume you don't need it. They see this bulletproof exterior and think you're just chilling. So when you finally do hit a brick wall and quietly start drowning, nobody throws you a life raft because they genuinely did not know you were struggling. You played the strong friend role so incredibly well that you accidentally convinced everyone you were invincible.
Breaking this habit is tough, but it is 100% necessary if you actually want to grow and stop feeling exhausted all the time. Real self-growth isn't just about reading self-help books and grinding harder. It is about knowing your own limits. So how do you actually fix it? You have to start stupidly small. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and suddenly spill your deepest, darkest secrets to a total stranger. Instead, just ask for a tiny favor that does not even matter. Ask a stranger for directions even if you already have Google Maps open. Ask a coworker to double-check an email before you send it. Ask your roommate to pass the remote control. It sounds completely silly, but you are actively retraining your nervous system. You are proving to your brain that you can ask for something, receive it, and the world does not catch on fire. Nobody points and laughs at you. You do not owe them your firstborn child. It is just a completely normal human interaction. Eventually, you have to reframe what asking for help actually means to you. It is not waving a white flag of defeat. It is actually a massive flex of self-awareness. It takes way more guts to look at a complicated situation, admit you are out of your depth, and pull someone else in than it does to just blindly struggle in the dark. Vulnerability is a magnet. It draws people in. When you finally let your guard down and say, "Hey, I am actually having a really hard time right now," you give the people around you permission to be real and authentic too. You stop being this intimidating, perfect statue, and you finally become human. That is exactly where real, deep connection happens. That is where you find the tribe that actually has your back when things get rough. So if you are that person carrying the weight of the entire world on your shoulders right now, take a breath, put it down for just a second, send that text message, make that phone call, ask for the favor. You deserve to be supported just as much as you support everybody else. Drop a comment down below and let me know if you struggle with asking for help. What is the craziest thing you did entirely by yourself just to avoid asking someone for a hand? I read all your comments and it really helps me know I'm not the only one out here. If this video hit home for you today, smash that like button. It really helps the channel out. And make sure you hit subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss out on more deep dives into the human mind. Share this video right now with that one friend who absolutely refuses to let anyone help them. You know exactly who I'm talking about. Catch you in the next one. Stay strong, but seriously, let somebody else carry the bags today.